Welcome back to the Feeling Your Passion podcast. We have a repeat guest finally, long overdue. Sahen Skinners.
On the first repeat? That doesn't make any sense.
I think so. Sahen Skinners,
boy,
a.k.a. SS Freeride, and totally trying to understand how the mic stand works over there is Lars
I'm just trying
Hyde,
to be comfortable here.
also known as Larson. Lars, Big Lars.
Landfill.
All of the above.
Welcome,
boy.
Lars. Welcome, Lars.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lars, for those who don't know, you guys obviously know this specimen right here, Sahen. Lars is kind of, I don't really want to, basically you are, okay. You are Sahen's right-hand man here for guiding. Granted, you are your own individual man as well.
Yeah.
But all winter long, you are right here helping Sahen and working with clients.
Mm-hmm.
How many years are you going on now?
5.
Is it
Five.
already
Year
5?
5.
Holy crap.
Well,
Yeah,
let me take
time
my
flies.
shoes off.
Damn, dude, that flew by.
Yeah.
I remember when you first came here because the last guy went out with a bang, and then you replaced him with Lars.
I think we're going into year 8 because I ran 2 years by myself, 1 year with Chubbs, and this will be his 5th year. So we're going into year 8, which is nuts
Yeah.
to think about.
Well, we talked about in the first podcast how you had like $300 or something like that to your name when you started.
I'll never forget, $342.
Yeah, and now we're sitting here in your shop with more snowmobiles than you know what to do with.
There's more snowmobiles in the shop than what is worth and my house is worth.
There's no priorities.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
But we'll get into the snowmobile thing. I want to talk about our Alaska trip because you guys that watched that episode, these two were in it. But what in the hell have you been doing this summer?
I've been spending a lot of time with the new girl, man. Been dirt biking a little bit. As you can tell, I definitely haven't been cleaning in here by any means. So we just cleaned out this one somewhat section. We just pushed all the crap out of the view. Just been trying to have a little bit of fun, man. You know, our summer's been pretty short. We got a ton of rain this year.
Lucky.
I mean, in that side of things, it's been great, but it's actually been very, very short. And it's crazy that, you know, we're already like stumbling into fall and we're halfway through August.
Dude, HayDays is in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's flying
Isn't that
by.
insane?
So it's nuts.
Have you gone
man.
to HayDays, Lars?
Never.
What? The travel budget at SS Freeride is tight.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
You should
Polaris.
come.
I'm
You
pretty
should
sure
come.
Polaris covers you, so you literally have.
Well, I'm not going on my vacation anymore, so.
I'm pretty sure we're
Could be a big
sleeping in Trent's
possibility.
horse trailer. So
Yeah, Lars, you're kind of a big deal now that you were in that Alaska episode. You were team.
Okay.
You were team David
Yeah.
saying Lars because
I
we didn't
could
come
sleep
up.
in a horse
We
trailer.
were the American
Let's go.
team in the
Yeah.
video.
yeah, it's
That's
like
why I'm called landfill.
it's like redneck camping. It's redneck camping. I was just hoping Trent was going to pressure wash the horse trailer out before we got there.
I'm used to sleeping on horse shit.
Sleeping in the barn.
With that being said, Lars, what are you doing now in the summer? Are you still doing dirt work?
Yeah, doing dirt work, golfing. I don't do a whole lot
What are you
of
shooting
dirt
these
biking.
days?
What?
What are you shooting these days?
I don't know. I don't keep score.
Like, do you just say, do you get a lot of 8s, but they're not really 8s?
Yeah, they're like 5s.
Oh, no. No, I mean, like, you know, everybody says the highest score you'll put in the cord is an 8, or in the card is an 8,
Yeah.
but you really
Yeah,
got
yeah.
like a 10.
Yeah.
Is there some of those?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty decent.
Okay,
Pretty
cool.
decent.
Yeah.
We'll have to go.
He's
Yeah.
definitely better than
Let's
me,
go.
Yeah.
for sure. I have a tournament on Sunday.
Yeah,
And
I was
went
supposed to go.
I went to the driving range last night, so I was warmed up.
Yeah. Did you hit him 220 straight to the right?
Yeah, pretty much. And that's if I don't top the ball. I think I top about 40% of them. So
You gotta
I'm getting pretty good.
Slice or hook? I know it's not going straight.
What's this one?
Slice.
Slice.
Are you
Yeah,
lefty
slice
or
all
righty?
right.
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay, yeah, so you're slicing.
Yep, slicing. And the funny part
It's
is when I try and compensate for it, or I turn the club, then I hit it straight, then it just goes far left.
It's all a brain game.
So it's
big time.
it's entertaining for sure.
Dude, I've been playing golf with Tristan a bit when he's been up,
Yeah.
and he pisses me off. He's the best, like, natural golfer that's never golfed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played with him once about a month ago.
He's played like 10 times in his life. Did you know that?
No.
So when I played with him this summer, like 2 months ago, it was like his 6th time ever playing.
What the?
And he was just rocking them straight. He like landed a couple on the green for like 3-foot putts, and he went like I think he parred a couple.
And then he's like,
Jeez.
"Is this good?" And
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
about to hit him in the face with your 9
I'm
iron.
like looking for mine in the pond with the extended thing, trying to get it out. I've been
At least
golfing
you
for
have the
like
extended
20
thing.
years.
I just take my shirt off and jump in.
You can get away with that in Wyoming.
Usually get a fish too.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Free lunch.
No, it's been fun playing some golf. Yeah, we got to do an outing. I want to do a 509 team golf tournament.
That would
still.
be a
Like a
blast,
summer. We've been talking about doing like a summer retreat. It'd be so cool. Like rent a house somewhere. I don't know where, like McCall or something, and get the whole team out there in the summer and go golfing and go boating and nothing to do with snowmobiles. Just go out and relax.
Count
Does
me in.
McCall have cool golf courses?
Oh, like world class.
Oh, because like Big Sky would be sick too. I've never been.
I'm
there,
down
but
for whatever, man.
I know people that have,
I just know people in McCall, so we could probably align some fun activities.
and it's really close to your house.
No, it's like 5.5 hours.
Oh yeah, McCall.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm thinking Coeur d'Alene.
Oh no,
yeah.
no. Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be great too.
Yeah, it's about
Let's
5
go to
and a half.
that one.
It's probably like 7 for us. But that's not that bad.
Yeah, Coeur d'Alene's like 20 minutes for me, selfishly.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
We'll have to go.
Yeah.
I would go. I actually really enjoy golf. I used to be decent at it, playing with Gramps all the time, your big brother.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I've maybe played like 8 times in the last 5 years. So it just went,
I feel
Done.
yeah. What from in Alaska?
Dude, he plays in slides too.
yeah, oh yeah.
I've never
yeah.
heard anybody. You heard about flip flops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slides.
Sliders or whatever you call them.
Slides and flip-flops are different.
1989.
Dude.
What?
It's
Slides are
just-
dope.
I just
They're
never
like
heard anybody
Nike
call them
white
slides.
slides.
Yeah, dude, they're
Yeah.
sick.
Flip flops.
That's all he
This
wears.
is a Midwest
Golf.
versus West thing growing up.
Flip-flops are like the thing that goes in between your
Those
toe.
are thongs.
Thongs.
Yeah, those are thongs.
Yeah.
I wear slides.
You wear flip flops.
No.
What sound do they make when you walk?
Flip flops make the same sound.
It's the same sound.
yeah.
Yeah, but
But they're called slides.
okay. This is
I just got a new pair, actually.
It's
They're quite nice.
agree to disagree. I almost did today too. I stopped at Shields and they had Hey Dude flip flops, also
What?
known as slides.
You would be happy, Lars. I didn't wear flip-flops yesterday at the driving range.
Really?
No wonder you're
we're
slicing
dudes.
them. No wonder you're slicing them. Your
Even
feet are
better.
just sliding around
Yeah.
sweat.
I'm buying football cleats.
Just wear your football cleats.
Just
to the tournament
destroy
this
the
weekend.
greens. People are like, what are you doing? Need ankle support, bro.
Dude, I've been struggling with golf because my shoulder from Alaska,
Oh yeah.
everything's fine. Sledding or riding dirt bikes is fine. Golf is like re-injuring it every time.
Was it the right one or the left one?
Left.
It was the left. I remember. David,
It's the impact.
you guys probably
So I
didn't
can practice.
see-
I can practice swinging. It's fine. It's the second the impact. It's like
the impact is like nothing.
I know, but you know, like when you hit like a bat against the ground, you get
Yeah.
that. It's like
What-
that through my shoulder.
What happens when you hit the ground before the ball?
Oh, I quit. After
Oh,
that.
yeah.
go-
Once
go-
when you destroy
I've done that a
it.
Go
few
right to an
times.
ice bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, David destroyed his shoulder. What was it? The first day we were there? I think it was the first day.
Super sick.
Yeah, it was super dope. He went in for like this 150-foot whip hit, of course. And
I just couldn't bring it back. It
he
was
just
like
couldn't bring it back. and
so
just
tweaked out.
roached his shoulder.
No, I just I think I clipped a tree
Yeah, he did.
doing like a little turnaround. I actually went through those photos the other day, and Steven captured the moment of it happening. There's a photo of
Really?
it. So there's 2 photos. There's one of me falling where it's out of the socket. The next photo is Jeff doing a hop over, and me sitting next on like 20 feet over like this.
Oh, yeah, he did, huh?
So I was like, I don't know, 20 yards from you when it happened.
So there's Jeff doing this hop over, and then there's me in the corner holding my shoulder. It's kind of a funny photo.
I just saw your ski snag that tree, and then you tumbled down. I just started laughing uncontrollably.
And then, fair.
And then,
Normally,
and then you
yeah.
got up and you're like, oh. I'm like, uh-oh, that's not good.
I didn't even see it happen. I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
David's in that tree, no big deal.
Well,
It was bad.
And then 10 minutes later, David still hasn't moved. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe something's wrong.
Yeah.
it happened before the tree. It hit the tree because I let go because the shoulder came out. So like I didn't hit the tree and have it come out. It just like slipped pulling on the
You
bars.
pulled really hard.
Yeah.
It's those big shoulders.
I don't go to the gym.
There's one right on the other side of this wall.
It's dusty. Clearly you guys don't use it either.
We use it.
I
We
used
just
it
don't
last
clean
night.
it. I used it yesterday.
Silence. I did. Nobody believed you.
Yep.
Oh yeah, but Alaska boys, what a good time. That was top 3 sled trips I think I've ever had with 519.
Dude, I think between the scenery and as dumb as we thought that boat ride was going to be, and it ended up being phenomenal. And we got some insane snow towards the end there.
Yeah.
And honestly, getting to spend some time with Borch was super, super fun. And having Lars go with us, that was great to see all his reactions and stuff, man. It was definitely one of my favorite trips. And Jeff is such a great dude too. Yeah. So it was a blast.
We lived it up we did a little bit of everything in like 5 days.
We did, which was sick.
Glacier, whales, seals,
sea
lions, POW Day, High Alpine Blue Day.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm. It was just cool, man, because like we've been pretty fortunate to go all over the place, it seems like, all the cold places. And
right.
A lot of times we're just riding the whole time, which is fantastic. But at the same time, it's really cool to go and see like a little bit more of what that, part of the world has to offer. Totally. So it was really, really cool to see some of that. Just meandering around and just bumming around was really, really cool.
Yeah. Lars, is that your first time getting out of Wyoming area riding? Or?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I've rode like Montana a couple times in Whitefish, Utah a couple times, but other than that, it's always been here. But yeah, that was really, really fun and really cool to see and experience that. You
know what pisses me off, but also kind of stokes me out? So we shot that rad video. I'm looking on 509's Instagram right now. I posted a cell phone clip of you. Do you remember that? Where it was super deep and you just come by?
Yeah.
That clip like went viral.
Really?
It's a cell phone. We shot all that epic slow-mo backlit stuff. And then this friggin' cell phone photo of Lars just chooching by goes viral.
Dude, it's relatable. Dude.
I'm trying to find it. I can't remember.
The snow is...
That was insane. That was the deepest I've ever rode in my entire life.
Like we 8,000 likes, 200,000 views on it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Dude, it's kind of crazy because like I've ridden a lot of deep snow over the years, but it's usually like dry, like dust snow.
Yeah, yeah.
And to ride really deep snow that's so wet like that is completely different.
It was weird.
It was weird.
That was the weirdest consistency I've ever ridden.
It was super fun, like super challenging, but it was different.
You should try it if you shoulder tape together. Sick. It was so fun on a 146. Chaos.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that trip, granted, I mean, I know that the snow is, has a lot more water content in it there, but that trip kind of sold me on a 146. Like ET just texted me a couple days ago. He's like, "Hey, we got to get our parts list together. I want to ride a 46 this year." I was like, "Oh, all right, dude, whatever. Like, that's fine."
What are you building this year? I heard a little birdie from a place that makes twice pipes that there's some 9R stuff coming.
Yeah, Ooh. I'll have a 9R with twins, and then I'm going to build a 9R with a sober on it.
You going to build something this year or just keep riding the stockers?
It's a secret.
Oh. Is it like, okay, like I can't even poke at it, or are you just lying to me?
I'm just lying.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I probably should think about it now, right?
Yeah, I'd love to just put Lars on something that's just like pure race gas, 14 pounds of boost, super unnecessary.
That's a workout.
And just watch him go manhandle that thing.
I think I ordered a 55 Chaos for my 9R turbo. I can't really remember.
I did a 55 Chaos. I'm gonna do twins on.
Yeah,
and I got a 65 boost this year too.
I would really like to do the sled that I had not last year, the year before.
That's sober.
That was so fun.
That was a runner.
That thing was a riot.
They just run every single day. Yeah. They're super fun. They're super consistent. Yeah. The power level's great. It's not too much.
No issues with that sled.
Remember that
Zero issues.
We turboed it at like 700 miles.
Yeah, because we had the sled for a while. Then we finally got the kit. Justin was super busy. Got the kit, slapped it on, and rode the crap out of it.
Yeah, remember that day of Dan when you were riding that? And you were just rodeoing those trees?
Yeah.
There's like 6 saplings in his line. He hit every single one of them.
Dude, with boost and a long track, there's seriously no rules.
You came booking through the sketchiest run in. I was like concerned. I had a tree that I could dip behind in case the sled came down.
I have that GoPro footage.
Yeah, it was out of control.
Well, if you've been here, we definitely have the beer can rule. And if it's the size of a beer can or smaller,
hit it.
Run it over.
Yeah.
Just smoke it, and it'll pop right back up, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Maybe close your eyes.
If it's a Gatorade bottle or maybe a Foster's can, if you're familiar with beer, you're gonna hurt yourself.
I've hit a
Or the
few
snowmobile.
Foster's cans where they bend, but then all of a sudden you're like airborne.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a
Catapult,
diving board.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I hit a few Folgers cans like that.
Those don't really move.
No,
Once you get to that size, sometimes you can get away with the Fosters.
Shocker.
Folgers, stop.
Folgers just rip the side of the sled off and you ruin everyone's day.
Oh god. No, dude, you're lucky to have Lars.
For sure.
Lars, you kick ass. Every time
appreciate
I'm
that.
with you, I have a blast, and you can literally pick up a sled one-handed and get it out of any hole.
Dude,
Like left-handed too.
it's so true. Like, I absolutely love having Lars here. He does a really good job. He's a very likable guy. He works his butt off. You know, everyone thinks that they want to work here. They do. But they think that we just ride snowmobiles every day, which we do. Not quite every day, but really close. But what they don't see is the setup and tear down every day and all the behind the scenes and
It's a lot of work.
the mess. And dude, I mean, we're working 12 hours a day minimum. That's if everything goes right. You know, you're in the cold all the time. It doesn't matter if it's negative 30 or 30 degrees. It's, you know, you're going snowmobiling.
Mhm.
That's just part of it. It's no longer a hobby. It is your job now.
Oh yeah, I've seen
And-
your program for years, and
Yeah.
it's not all fun and games every
No,
day.
it's not, man. We get up early. We load everything before. We're usually out of here by 7:45, 8 o'clock at the latest. Like, we're on the hill early. And, you know, I just try to think about what I would want if I went and spent, you know, a decent amount of money on to go do something. So I just want it to be proactive, and I want it to be consistent, and I want it to continue to grow. And Lars has been a big part of that, and he's worked his butt off, and we love having him. And so it's been very, very
He's
cool. man.
blushing. He's blushing. Big old teddy bear's
Guys,
blushing.
I'm just kind of stoked that all the blood came out of his biceps for a second. But yeah, he's super strong. There was this time I'll never forget. We were with Robert and the dudes from Park City. What's his name?
Jamie.
Jamie
Yeah.
and Nick.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Robert was stuck. What's his nickname? I can't remember. I can never remember which one he likes to be called.
who, Nick?
No. Robert.
I don't know how you guys
Was it
remember all
Connor?
these people.
Connor.
Connor.
I can't remember if his real name
Was
is
his-
Connor or Robert.
Yeah, me either.
All right. Anyways, he was stuck. Dude he's a super hard worker. Probably the most progressive rider I've ever seen in my life, honestly. You remember them?
Mhm.
Their second
Oh, yeah.
time they came out?
Oh, yeah.
He was stuck, and Nick and I were sitting there, and Lars pulls up, and Nick and I are reefing on the sled, and it's not even moving. And we're taking a break, and Lars comes over, grabs the bumper, doesn't even grunt, and just goes, and just moves it. And Nick's sitting over there about to die, and he's like, man, I wish I could move sleds like that. I'm like, we all do, buddy. We all do.
Oh, Lars, you've gotten me out of some situations before, that's for sure. You've also gotten
Yeah.
me into some.
Yeah, dude, and that's another thing. It's been really, really cool to see Lars's riding progress over the years, and I'm a firm believer the difference between a good rider and a great rider is confidence.
Yeah.
You know, and to see his confidence build over the years, and you know, and just go out there and be consistent. And it's really hard to ride A game every day. It's pretty much impossible. But when you do have those days where you're clicking and everything's working, it's just really, really cool and enjoyable
Totally.
and fun. And it's fun to have a buddy you can go out there and I can push pretty hard, and I know Lars is going to be there.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that I know of that I can just go out and do what I want to do and not really have to worry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Where'd you guys meet?
Dude,
How long-
you want to hear a funny story? Do you remember? Well, we've known each other for a
Yeah.
really long time.
Yeah.
But when I decided I wanted him to work for me, we were up on Togety
Oh, yeah.
early season. And I was up there with some buddies, and he was up there with some buddies. And we were sitting around a fire just hanging out, and some split boarders came down the hill. Okay.
You can't tell me Lars is split board.
No.
We were both
I would pay to see that.
we were sitting at the same fire, weren't we? At
yeah,
that point.
yeah.
And some split boarders came down the hill, and, you know, whatever, 4 or 5 of them came down, I don't remember. And they're kind of just standing around, and they're a little ways from us. And our buddy Jason's like, do you guys hear that? I'm like, no. And he's like, there it is again. He's like, I swear someone's yelling help. So we're like, what the heck? So we go barreling up to these trees, like super steep trees. You've been in them.
Yeah.
Remember when you and I were stuck above that cliff and you were not having a good time?
Because it was November, and there was a lot of shrapnel
Right
everywhere.
on the bottom of two oceans.
McKinney
That's
was-
what they call it.
You know, right when you go right around the corner of those cliffs,
Yeah. Yep.
we were side hilling above those, and we got in a kind of a predicament.
Even Sahen admitted this is not good. So
Dude, I ran my butt down the running board.
Yeah.
Destroyed my pants. Oh, brutal. Anyway, so we were right around the corner from that where we always go test.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh.
Well, you know where we were.
Yeah.
But
I know. Now I know where you were.
That's where we were. And so we go barreling up to the trees, and we find this split border like hanging in this tree upside down.
What?
Yeah.
Like he hit a stump or a log or something. I don't know what happened. And it looked like his knee was dislocated and a bunch of stuff.
He was in a funky position.
He was in a weird spot.
Bad.
The bad part was there wasn't a lot of base. So the guy's like not quite above our heads, but it's really hard for us to push up to try and get him just to get him out of his bindings.
Without hurting him
more. But we're sinking in the snow, right?
Was he by himself?
No. He was with all of his buddies.
They were at the bottom
4
already?
or 5 skiers with him.
But dude, get this. Like I can see my truck and trailer. Like I can see the highway, right?
Yeah.
I don't have my backpack on or anything. I don't have any of my safety stuff. Lars has all of his, right? And I felt like an idiot. I'm like, I can see my truck. I wasn't too worried, but I'm like, that was a big thing with Lars. Lars has always been a big safety guy, which is awesome. And I've obviously become way more that way, as you know, over the years, like super safety guy. I think it actually annoys him sometimes how like cautious I am with avalanche stuff. But that really impressed me about Lars is like, dude, Lars is out here preseason, has everything with him.
Yeah.
We ended up getting the guy out, took him to the trailer. They didn't even know where they were. Remember, they walked all the way in there, and I'm like, dude, the highway's right there.
I thought you were gonna say
car's over there. Like the road's
I thought you were gonna
there.
say Lars just grabbed my bottom of the head and one hand lifting him out of the tree.
I don't remember that part, but I'm sure
I just remember we tied him down on your tunnel.
we tied him
Got
to my
his
tunnel.
legs situated.
Yep.
Okay.
And I rode him double to the truck, and then we actually unhooked my truck. And was it you or me?
Yeah.
I think you drove him.
No,
Or
it was
I drove him.
because I went back to the fire with the rest of the guys.
I drove their buddy down to their car and then drove him back up and let him sit in the heated trailer, and then his buddy picked him up. I wouldn't be so surprised if he didn't have a broken leg. It looked
it was bad.
Something was going on, and it was not right.
It's a hell of an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we like met more like on the hill. Like we've known each other forever.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
And he's only 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
He was a junior when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
You and I are. Aren't our birthdays really close? Did I make that up? One of us. When's your birthday?
May.
Okay, yeah, no. Somebody recently, one of our riders or ambassadors I share the same birthday with.
It's not me.
Useless information now, I know. Sorry.
That's
You're
such
making
a
that
sweet
up.
fact.
Yeah, I know. No story to go with it. Just thinking out loud.
Oh, man.
Man, I forget about those stories.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Dude,
I just
like as much stupid crap as up here, I actually have a pretty good memory with a lot of stuff. The problem is I can somewhat control what goes in. I can't always control what leaves. Like my SD card is somewhat full, so it just keeps stacking more crap in there, and I don't always remember or can
I have
retain
a
what's
hard time
leaving.
remembering. He remembers every single person that comes in here.
Yeah,
Their
that
names.
blows my mind.
And I'm like, hey, what's their name?
Yeah.
What's their name?
I don't. I've been here for probably like 3 repeat groups before over the years. I've probably ridden with you and clients 20 plus days.
Oh, at least.
And
At
I
least.
bet some of those have been like 3 repeats, and I don't remember any of them still. I don't know how the hell you do that.
I don't really know either. It's just
You just delete something in the memory card and
And see, with me,
Yeah,
some
like a torque
stick and
spec.
some don't.
like a torque spec. Yeah, the tough thing
Yeah.
is like I can sometimes for the most part remember the name. I would say 90% of them, but you don't remember a ton about them unless they do something really, really cool or really, really dumb.
Yeah.
Or have like a huge personality.
yeah.
Or the same guys that come every single year.
We have
I
a
remember
ton of
those
repeat
guys.
guys.
Yeah.
A ton of repeat guys. Yeah, which is cool. So I mean, it is kind of different. Like, so I'll say, you mentioned HayDays earlier. That's 3 weeks away. We'll go to HayDays, and someone will be like, "I rode with you in 2012," and I'm like,
I hope we had fun.
"Hey, man, hey, dude." I mean, it's kind of impossible. We had almost 300 people last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, you add that up over like this will be my 16th year guiding, which is crazy. Makes me feel old.
You've ridden with thousands of people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thousands and thousands. So it's kind of crazy, but I think part of it is like, this is my life and this is what I got.
Yeah. You got to be a people person. It means so much more to the clients.
I do try really, really hard. I do forget sometimes because I mean, they're wearing a helmet, 90% of the time that we're with them.
At this point, are you guys already completely booked for this year? Or do you
We're
still
not
have some openings?
We're not completely booked. Some of our younger groups are probably taking a year or two off because I think they're starting to adult a little bit more and realizing that life's expensive and stuff like that. But we do have a lot of people return. I would say probably close to 70% as of right now.
Nice.
There's been some people book that have been trying to get in for years. There's this group out of Oregon. His name's Adrian. I mean, this dude's called me like 3 or 4 probably times in the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. And he's just like ecstatic that he's coming. So it's really, really cool. Like, it's cool to have those people that are super passionate that want to come and see us, that have been trying for a long time. We have a lot of repeats, which is great. We're going to change things up just a little bit this year on how we're doing stuff, which will be kind of cool and exciting. But yeah, dude, it's good, man. I'm very, very thankful. I think a big part of it is just we try to treat people really, really well and try to have a lot of fun. And when you come here, it's about you and it's not really about us. And I think that speaks volumes with our return rate. And it's just been fun, man. I just want to, leave snowmobiling better than I found it whenever I decide that I'm going to shut the door and turn the lights off, which is obviously a ways from now. But it's been really cool, man. And I'm super thankful.
Yeah, I've definitely had the most fun with you guys I'll come and just ride with you guys for fun occasionally. Got days off or whatever, and I'll just stick around an extra day, and it's a blast. I absolutely love the dynamic between you two, your program.
Yeah.
Almost, I'd say 90% of your clients are rad. Obviously, you get the occasional days where you're like, oh my gosh, but you've really dialed in it. It seems like, I think the video side helps a lot too. Like, people know your personality.
Yeah.
And Lars, you've been in the Day in the Life video we did. You've been in the Alaska one also, and so they kind of know that you guys are, just fun and poking jokes at each other and having a good time. So you seem to get kind of like-minded people coming out to ride with you guys, which is perfect. Then you're not weeding through like a bunch of just absolutely boring people all the time.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is too. So when I talk to, say, new groups that want to come out, I really try to fill them out. Not that we don't want, just anyone coming, but a lot of it is I want them to have the best possible experience they possibly can. And it's, we go out, we work our butts off. We want to go out there and have fun and learn as much as we possibly can, but we try to keep it light. We do have a couple serious moments through the day, when we have riders meetings and we talk about avalanche stuff. We definitely have some times where we need to be serious and everyone needs to be engaged. But for the most part, man, we try really hard to go to good areas, stuff that doesn't beat the crap out of them, but stuff that does challenge them. And just have fun. Why are we doing any of this if we're not having fun?
Totally.
Yeah. And there is some days, and he knows that we're getting our asses kicked and we're beat down, and we have a new group every three or 4 days, and we've been riding for I don't know, 80 of the last 100 days or whatever, and we do get beat down, but we try really, really hard to show up and be present and have fun and smile and and have a good time.
You gotta, otherwise people won't come back.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about coming this year.
Thank God.
So sick of you guys in Alaska.
It's taken a while, but it's finally registering.
Just kidding. Actually, on that whole flight back, I was like sad. I'm like, God, we had so much fun. I didn't want to go home.
Dude, not gonna lie to you, we came home on St. Patty's and we had fun the entire way home.
I forgot about that. You guys and Steven.
About that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guys like bought out the whole entire little shooter bottles in the plane.
We may or may not have went through multiple rounds of shooters on multiple different planes.
Steven was in the doghouse when he got home a bit.
I think he was too.
You were too.
Oh yeah, big time.
I'm home.
Honey.
The flight attendant pulls out the drawer and he's like, "Here you go."
He stopped giving us singles and just started giving us like
the whole
bubble wrap
package.
6-packs.
Didn't you guys like miss a flight too or something, or do you have like a long layover?
No, we had a long layover,
long layover
in Seattle.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
There's beer in Seattle.
Yeah. It's funny how airports seem to all have that.
It's Lars knows, but St. Patty's is like probably my favorite holiday, and we do work it a lot, but I don't know, it's just such a fun vibe holiday. And
well, it's kind of the end of the season for you guys. It's like a
we
little bit of like a we did it. I know you got a couple tours maybe after, but
yeah, we start to wind down about that time. We've been rolling pretty hard for like 3 months at that point. Maybe even, probably more than that, obviously, like probably 4.5 months. But
it is nice to let loose.
Yeah, we got to.
Jackson Hill climbs too.
Jackson
Hill
climbs
that
is
time.
fun. Yeah, for sure.
Earned. Well earned.
For sure. yeah, so it's cool to have some fun, like we're still normal people. Like we like to have a couple beers like everyone else and let loose. And yeah, there's just a time and place for it is all.
Oh, totally. Like the swaps at HayDays.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the other day, yesterday at this time, I did a podcast with Brandon from Rancid, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about.
You totally got me in the mood for punk rock today after we talked earlier. I've been listening to punk rock all day.
So he was talking about how just some of his friends, it's just these crazy names, right? Just icons in the music industry, like James Hetfield. Just casual, right?
No, to Brandon, it's James,
just
like
James.
we talked about earlier.
Just James.
He's just talking about the lead singer of Metallica, like it's just James.
Yeah.
We're like,
old Jimmy.
We don't know him. We know who he is, but we don't know him. Yeah.
But he was talking about he was at some event somewhere, and somebody really wanted to meet him, and another really big musician went out of their way to tell him, hey, this girl's trying to get a hold of you or wants to get your autograph. Yeah. And he was super shocked that this other well-respected musician took the time to say, hey, this fan wants to meet you. And I'm like, I'm thinking about this. I'm like, Sahen Skinner walking out of Trent's trailer in the HayDays swaps and people's reaction is kind of the same in a totally different industry. I'll never forget Sahen walking out and for the next hour while Sahen's eating breakfast, Trent's brother's grilling up breakfast sandwiches, and Sahen's just sitting there in a camping chair in the swaps, just greasy, had a good night, everything.
Yeah.
There's all these kids going by is that Sahen Skinner? And they're like, no way. Why would he be out here in the swaps?
It happened multiple times in an hour.
I'm watching triple takes. This kid looks back again, taps his buddy, looks back again. But it's kind of you're out in public and you see your favorite musician. You're like, is that really them at this grocery store? But here's Sahen in the swaps, just being the full-blown Midwest, living it up.
Well, dude, it's funny because you bring that up. So last year, for the longest time, they changed the player's autograph signing last year at HayDays K, and forever since I've been going, it's always been at 1:00, always. But they split the team last year. They have I can't remember exactly how they call it. It's the Pro A team or something like that. And there's 6 or 8 of us there. Okay, and then at 1:00 there's the rest of the team. Okay, I obviously got the email and I just scanned it. I didn't think much of it because it's always been at 1:00. So I'm in the swaps, like you said, shotgunning beers.
Making breakfast sandwiches.
Making breakfast sandwiches with my people. These are my people. And Kathy Tidball's calling me. Nels is calling me. Emily's calling me. If you've ever been to HayDays, you'll know that your phone does not work very well. Yeah. And I finally got a text that says, hey, where are you? It's 12:12 or something like that. I'm like, what? I don't know what the big deal is. I'm in the swaps. And they're like, well, you have an autograph signing right now. So I just sprint. I mean, how far do you think that is?
Oh, a good quarter to half mile.
I would say, maybe quarter to half mile. Never mind, I just shotgunned 2 beers.
At what point did you start walking?
I didn't, dude. I was scared out of my mind a little bit, honestly. And I show up and Nels is like, where the hell you been? I'm like, I was shotgunning beers in the swaps. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. He's like, no, it's not a big deal. I'm like, I just thought I was at 1. He's like, yeah, we changed it this year. I'm like, yeah, obviously, my bad.
You're like, I don't know how, but it's McKinney's fault.
Yeah, it's McKinney's fault. He wasn't there, but it was McKinney's fault.
He told me to stay there.
So, dude, that's I think that's a big thing is staying grounded, and I've always enjoyed just going around and all those types of people. I don't care if you ride a $500 30-year-old sled, or if you buy a brand new one and you ride a $50,000 sled and you can't ride with a crap. Yeah, I don't really care as long as we're all there for the same reason. We all love snowmobiling, and I can relate and take something from everyone, positive or negative. So I've always tried really, really hard to just stay grounded. That's another thing I love about being home. So when I go there and I'm at the players booth and doing autograph signing, I'm like Sahen Skinner, the athlete snowmobiler, but here I'm just Sahen Skinner.
Yeah, which is another small business owner.
Exactly. So it's really nice. I really like that side of it. And there's times when people make you feel awkward. I'm sure you've experienced it too a little bit there. So I really appreciate the swap side of it. Yeah. Because honestly, those are my people, man. Yeah. So. Lars,
what about you now?
I'm going to go to HayDays.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Are you getting
super fun.
Is Lars getting a little fame? You getting anybody recognizing you around now? He knows he's had a few people.
Really? I had one guy this summer at Dad's Steakhouse.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he say? Like, saw you from the videos?
He's like, yeah, you're SS Freeride YouTube. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you ride snowmobiles? He's like, yeah, a little bit. And that was about it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool.
You signed his forehead.
You know.
Dude, the other day, Caitlin and I and the boys were in here and we're getting ready to go dirt biking. And some like little Toyota Camry or something pulls up. I didn't think nothing of it. I thought they were going over here to Crystal's. And some dude's just in the shop with his wife and some kids. And I'm like,
how'd they get in?
well, the door was open.
Oh,
But
gotcha. And it looked like this?
no, it wasn't this bad.
Okay. 'Cause what you guys can't see behind the camera is the worst I've ever seen Sane's shop. Granted, it's summer and he's got projects going on, but this is very unsane-like.
McKinney usually teases me on how clean it is.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not clean right now, and you guys can't see that. I have multiple projects going on.
I let it slide, but it's impressive. But anyway, so these people
I can
are
make a mess, trust
Especially
me.
that one sitting in front of us.
Yeah, the one that's been sitting there since April.
Sick of looking at that thing. I walked in here and I'm
That's
like,
been in the same spot since you were here.
I walked in here. I'm like, I'm having deja vu right now. I'm like, something's been here for a while. I'm like, it's this sled.
He called me. He's like, "Is this sled been sitting here for like a year?"
It felt like a year.
No, just since like April.
And then I was trying to remember why I was here in April. I was like, when was I here?
Yeah, it was probably right after Jackson.
Oh yeah, when Hannah and
Hannah,
her
remember?
dad and I all went.
Yeah.
Around. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry. These people in the shop.
Oh yeah, these people in the shop, they just came in and they'd actually seen our YouTube and they'd seen some Seaboys stuff and they just wanted to stop by and say hi, and it was
That's
cool.
awesome.
I mean, it kind of caught me off guard. I mean, that's happened before, but
Yeah.
it just caught me super off guard because it usually doesn't happen in July when it's 85
Right.
degrees
Yeah,
outside.
it's always in the
Right.
winter.
In the winter, it's it's like an ever revolving door of people, which is
Yeah.
great. But yeah, it doesn't happen a ton in the summer, and I'm actually not here that much.
Right. So
Yeah.
you hit on something earlier, and I got a question for you guys. It got me thinking. When you said whether you have a $500 sled or a brand new sled,
Yeah.
what is the worst thing that's shown up here as a client, and you're like, dude, you got to ride one of ours. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend you, but we can't take that out.
I don't think that's ever really happened that I can think of. Can you think of like a pretty bad sled that showed up?
No.
I can't off the top of my head.
Either.
I know some have left pretty bad.
I know there's been a couple
definitely-
people where they're like, I can't ride my sled. Let me try one of yours.
Yeah,
And they've done that,
That's happened.
but-
We have had some kids, like some early 20-year-old kids-ish, that have showed up with a sled that's pretty beat. Like, what's his name this year? That was
Talking
on
about me?
Skidoo?
That's Skidoo.
And
yeah.
McKinney.
Yeah.
That was
I used to have a whole whiteboard here, parts.
yeah.
Weren't they from Wisconsin?
Yeah, we had some
Yeah.
kids from Wisconsin. They're actually
Yeah.
coming back out again. Super fun group. Absolutely love these kids. What the heck is his name?
Isn't it Gary?
No.
Gary?
Gary's the other
Oh.
one.
you
Gary's the
ever
one that
met-
has a speaker.
Oh.
Have you ever met a kid named Gary?
Well,
That's
isn't
a
he
weird
the one that
No, that's his nickname.
blew his
His
secondary?
name's Garrett.
Mm.
Yeah, the blew up is secondary.
Isn't that the same one?
Yeah,
That was
but-
from last year?
Yeah, last year, and they were here 2 years ago too. Anyways,
Time flies.
So this is really cool. I won't say what he was riding, but he was on his sled. The kid's a hard rider. He goes out and gets it, and he's really eager to learn. So his sled's beat up, like a lot of them are. And he comes out. He ends up blowing up his secondary, and he ends up riding a Polaris. But was that the first day or the second day?
I think it was the second day.
May have been the second day. So the third day he ends up riding a Polaris. He's never ridden a Polaris in his life. And we're trying to teach him how to do bow ties. Okay, because he really wants to learn
Wait,
how to
was
do
it
bow
On a
ties.
this year?
totally,
Yeah, this year, remember?
I wasn't with you guys this year, remember?
Oh, that's
Had
right.
my
You didn't
own
get to
group.
go this year. You had your own group. That's
on
right.
a
that's
totally
right.
different chassis wants to learn bow ties.
Yeah. And within probably 20 minutes, he started doing bow ties.
And he was sold.
Dude, he was stoked. I don't know if he was sold, but he had a really positive experience on a Polaris. I mean, he's still struggling a little bit because he's so used to a different chassis. But it's little moments like that when you stack those little wins like we've talked about before that really help
Yeah.
that that scenario or whatever. So that was cool to see. So I've never really had anyone show up with like a sled where I'm like, oh my god, there's no way.
What about leaving? How many total?
There's definitely been some broken sleds leaving for sure.
any fully totaled insurance claim worthy ones?
No. People have smashed a few of ours.
I know. I
Pretty
remember
good.
that one that I think it was this year maybe
This
that
year.
ghost rode into that tree and it was
yep.
sitting here with no headlights. The handlebars are folded down.
That was Nick from
Oh
Massachusetts.
yeah.
Remember that? Those Boston kids.
Yeah, I do remember that. I was thinking of Dean's, but that wasn't this year. It was 2 years ago.
Dean's too. That
Dean's
was a bad one.
That was sweet. We had to like repin
That
some
was-
plugs to try and get it out. We were on the other side of Hobble Creek, like super far south. That was an interesting day, and the throttle cable kept sticking.
Oh,
If
Yeah,
there
it was good.
wasn't a log right next to me, it probably would have hit me.
Yeah, and it would have totaled the sled. Lars would have been fine.
yeah. Lars would have been the reason the sled got totaled.
Yeah, but not, dude. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, when I was at Brant's forever ago, seems like a lifetime ago, we definitely had a few people show up with some stuff. You know, I mean, and you know, it's what they have.
Yeah,
and
at that time too, though, the sleds were already not that great.
for sure, and they're making the best of it, which is great. But like, we want them to get the most of their experience and stuff. A lot of times when the guys show up with a sled and they end up breaking it, I don't actually charge them for a rental. You know, they showed up, they rode hard, something happened. It is what it is.
That's rad.
I usually don't charge them for a rental, and just like, dude, just go out, ride one of my sleds for the day. Let's go have fun. Like, we don't need to worry about money. Let's just go have fun.
To be honest, if
You know?
someone showed up with a sled like that was just beat up, but they saved their money
Yeah.
to come here,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's super
Yeah.
cool, dude. So it's, you know, we definitely have some guys here that show up that are very, very well off. We get a lot of business owners. We have some clients that fly in on their own jets, you know, and then we have the other side of that, the guys that have been saving up for 2 or 3 years. And I love having both of them. You know, I definitely didn't grow up with any money. You know, I had really crappy sleds, and I made the best of it and had just as much fun as I have now.
Yeah.
And it's all part of it. It's all stepping stones. I mean, you know, if someone's going to get into the sport, I would say don't go buy a brand new sled.
Yeah.
You know, go buy a sled that's 2 or 3 or 5 years old or whatever. See if you even like it.
Totally.
And if you like it, then start to invest more money. You know, this sport isn't cheap. You know, I love the sport to death, but it's not a cheap thing. It's never going to be cheap. But it's a lifestyle. It's not a hobby.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You made me think about when you were saying you'd let somebody ride a sled, you don't charge them.
Yeah.
If something goes south, and, you know, specific scenario, I'll never forget this. I think I've told you
When you
this.
ripped the side of my sled off.
Did I rip one of yours off?
Yeah. The same day you lost the light bar off your truck.
That was my sled.
No, it was. Oh, that was your
Yeah.
sled. I'm
And
like,
then
McKinney, don't do any deep powder
remember
turns. He's like, okay.
Do you remember how that day ended for me? Like, ended?
And then you blew up your
I
truck.
blew my truck up, too.
He ripped off the side of his sled. He lost his big, expensive light bar off the front of his truck, and then he made it how far home? Like 2/3 of the way home?
No, I was like 40 miles from home. Blew my truck
so
up.
he made it 95% of the way home. And then
everything
When was this?
all on
When
the
was
same
this?
day.
2016-ish.
Like,
a while ago.
It was awesome.
So
before
then
me.
everything I own shows up in the driveway broken on a tow truck. The sled is still on the deck with the one side folded. The truck's blown up, and they unload it, and I'm like, huh, yeah. It's like, so this is what rock bottom feels like.
You know that spot up sheep pass we always go up to the left?
No, wait, hold on. Wait, this gets better. So then where they put the truck's dead, right?
Yeah.
I can't even unload the snowmobile because I can't get the ramp up because they put it too close to the garage. So I'm like, how do I take care of anything right now? So I put it in neutral and let it just go out into the road. So it gets to the bottom of the road and loses momentum, and I can't turn. So I'm like halfway in the driveway, halfway out.
At your old house.
Yeah, unload the sled. I'm like, screw it at this point. So then I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. So I call my buddy, and he just tows it to his shop.
That's amazing.
Because I'm like, otherwise it's sitting like 50% in the road, 50% in the driveway.
Yeah.
It's just dead.
Yeah.
I was like, what a day.
I remember that day very vividly. David shows up. He drove all the way down here to ride one day.
No.
Wasn't
I was
that-
at the Salt Lake Snow Show.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, I came back and
There was another time you drove down here. You left your house at like 4 a.m. and got here like 11 in the morning or something. And we went and rode.
Yeah.
I remember. Because maybe it was a different
worth it
day.
every time.
Yeah. But I remember that day when you ripped the side of your sled off.
Yeah,
Brand new sled.
Just completely ripped both my arms
Reckless.
off.
Like the whole
Reckless.
side of it was gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was sick.
I remember saying, there's not that much snow up here, so don't do any committed powder turns. Okay, dude, cool. We're all having fun, dude. It's easy to do. I've done it before, and we're getting ready to drop off that tiny little hill at Sheep Pass right by the corner,
Yeah.
right there on that little flat above there.
Mm-hmm.
McKinney just goes in and just lays a deep one and just comes up, and there's the side of his sled. It's like October, dude.
It was like October 8th or something.
Yeah. Less than 2 months from now.
I was fired up. I figured, hey, I got a bunch of time
We
to
had a
fix it.
blast. We had a great time. We found some pockets. It was fun.
Then I get home.
You're always like that though.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get super anxious and excited.
Oh,
just
yeah.
like,
I'm
let me go,
so
let me go, let me
addicted
go.
to it. I haven't lost it yet.
Speaking of wrecking sleds, the only sled I wrecked all year was Gramps'.
With that, not
900 turbo.
Yeah. Isn't that thing rowdy?
It was super rowdy. That's why I want to build one. It was super
we rode
fun.
Dan's that one day. Didn't he have one of those when he went out with us?
2 years ago.
Yeah. It just pulled and pulled and pulled.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to build. It's really, really fun to ride, and you have to be super proactive. But
yeah.
Gramps is like, hey, dude, go ride my sled for a couple days. So I go ride. I haven't broken anything all year. Do like this bow tie, and it just rips out the snow. Sled lands on me. I break the throttle paddle. I break the side panel. And I'm just like, oh, my God.
I wrecked a lot of stuff.
This year?
Lars and ET, I think we're having a race.
Yeah.
I break the most shit. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of A-arms.
It happens.
Why are you looking over your shoulder trying to get a count?
Yeah.
Yeah. All these sleds are behind us.
Oh, the running board?
Yeah, running board. Yeah.
I got that one good. That was.
Oh, that's right.
Remember when I
that.
was following you?
Uh-huh. Oh,
hit that
yeah.
down tree.
I made it.
So the one I was getting
I took most of the snow.
Yeah. He took all the snow off the tree. All of it. And then it just did this skate down this log.
Just board slide in it?
Oh, right into a tree.
One of the biggest pine trees in Bridger Teton National Forest. Yeah.
Brutal. The one I was thinking about is, I think it was my first year filming 509. I was out at Brant's, back when Brant was on the 509 team and working on a segment. I'll never forget this. He runs a phenomenal program. I mean, it's you work there.
Sure,
it's world class, the lodging, everything.
Really nice place.
And Barant's, he was just awesome to film with. Like, he was super supportive of me when I was starting out early. And one time I flew there because I can't remember if it was later in the year and I didn't have anything to shoot afterwards, so it didn't make sense for me to drive.
If it was your first year shooting for 509, your sled was a piece of shit.
Yeah, that too.
I remember.
Yeah. That was
I love you, but like I talked about in the first podcast, you pushed really hard, and I respected that a lot about you.
5,300 miles.
You should have seen
was it
this.
A Polaris?
XM.
You should have seen this trash can.
Dude.
He called the snowmobile.
The
I love him to
shocks.
death. He tried really
was
hard.
Was it yellow?
Yeah. The shocks would bottom out over like a pebble.
Yeah.
It was bad.
We would have rebuilt everything like 2 or 3 times over.
Anyways.
At this point.
No, I like this. Let's keep going.
So
I
fly there and ride one of Brant's sleds. And I kind of lose it on a side hill, and it goes into a tree, and it like rips off part of the graphic on the wrap. I think I've told you this story.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. It's minor. I'm talking like the bottom corner of like the bottom panel, the one like the belly pan comes up on you right underneath the side panel there.
Yeah.
That piece like kind of tears off. And I don't think anything of it. And a week later, I get an email from Chris. He's like, yeah, it's $62 for stickers for that. And I'm like, what? It's like, no, man. I'm like, I can't bring myself to do that. I was like, come on. I was like, really? Like I said, love the guy.
Yeah, I love him too.
So
it is funny though.
I pay for it, right? I never forget this. Pay for it. 4 days later. I remember how many days? 4 days later, it was Arctic FX. Arctic FX goes, free replacement on wrap pieces up to $100 value for all customers. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I want my $60 back.
Dude, we have
and I never brought it up to him, and I want to get him on the podcast and just grill him about it.
He's awesome. I do love him.
It was 4 days later. They go, free replacements up to $100 in value, and I just paid like $64.27 or something for these wrap pieces.
We have people like, I mean, if someone's riding one of our sleds and they do something really, really stupid, just being an idiot, I'll bill them for stuff. But if we're pushing them and we have them in that scenario and they're kind of nervous and, you know, and they obviously admit to us like, hey, dude, I'm a little more out of my comfort zone than I want to be. And they're getting gassed and stuff, and then they bend an A-arm, I don't bill them. Yeah. Because we're the ones putting them in that scenario.
Right.
You know, I mean, they're here to learn, they're here to get pushed and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like, so maybe it's the guy that's been saving up for 3 years.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the new filmer from Minnesota who's just terrified and gets a $64.27 bill. And his soul gets ripped out of his chest.
It is funny how you never remember those little things like that. I definitely have a lot of those stories, not particularly with Brant, because I wrecked all of his shit. All of it. Coincidentally, it was also the one that had to fix it. Yeah. You know, and he did treat me very, very well.
Lars, you were getting excited there. What were you going to say?
Oh, the steering column.
Lars wrecked one of my my most expensive snowmobile I had.
Yeah.
This year.
So Clay decided to tag
twin
along
pipe
with us.
one or
No, the turbo.
The turbo one. Yeah. He let me ride it for the day. We're
was
riding
being
it
nice.
out. And
Against my better judgment.
never going to be nice again.
you know how Clay gets. You've rode with him before.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he starts messing with me on the trail. So I start messing back with him. We come around the corner by
Please tell
just
me.
right before the CC camp. No, after the CC camp. And I hit one of those whoops, and the skis just turn immediately, and it just pistol whips me on the trail.
Trail crashes.
Oh, yeah.
Trail crashes
I've
are
had
brutal,
the worst
dude.
crashes in the trail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Head hits a trail, and I'm like, what happened?
His head hit the trail and it got smarter.
I don't know about that.
It's happened to me a couple times. So I
Clay
understand.
stops. He's like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I think so. I pull the sled up, and his steering column's like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, uh-oh. He's not going to be happy about this. And he's way ahead of us. We get to the trailer, and I'm like, Sahen, I broke your sled.
We're like, how? We were on the trail.
I know. Like, I rolled it on the trail. He's like, what were you doing? I was like, screwing off with Clay. He's like, go figure.
Yeah.
Go
it happens.
figure.
I'll never forget, speaking of wrecking other people's stuff, Brant let me bring an assault home one year. Not the episode you're thinking about. The 509 episode is a different one. And it wasn't as crucial as that year, but we had a couple pre-production sleds, and we've talked about this stuff before in the other podcasts, like pre-production sleds and yellow tags and stuff. But I had a pre-production sled, and Brant's like, yeah, I was just begging him to take it home. I wanted my dad to ride it, wanted his buddies to ride it. I have a ton of friends that ride and stuff, and I was right there at the very first spot that we stop all the time, where we had that big fire and stuff, where we always stop, that first meadow. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one.
I
almost said it too.
Yeah, we call it something particular,
Yeah.
but we won't get into
Yeah.
that. But I'm right there and going through all those bumps, and I'm hauling ass with Nick, and I just eat shit. And just the sled goes flipping on the trail, and like
That?
it flipping so hard right there. Yeah.
The one that you totaled.
No.
Oh.
No. This is a different one.
Oh, okay.
I wrecked
Oh.
like probably 15 of Brand's
Listen,
sleds
sorry.
over the years.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. But I wrecked the sled, bend an arm, bend the bars, bend the steering column.
On the trail.
On the trail, broke the steering blocks.
Before he even got to ride.
Yeah, that was on the way out. That was
On the way out.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. This is on the way
Oh.
out. Yeah, I was just super excited. Yeah, it was a good time. So everyone got to ride that sled clearly. I just got up the trail and wrecked it, and then no one got to ride it. It was really cool.
Remember when I shoved the rail through the tunnel?
Dude,
Yeah,
that
I was actually
the
kind of pissed that day.
Yeah.
weirdest, scariest, crazy thing
Yeah.
I've ever
But I did remember
Yeah.
that we took a cross shaft out of the skid frame
seen.
later. But it was literally the very last day of guiding, and
Yeah.
I mean, I was very thankful that Lars didn't get sawed in half by that
No
rail.
kidding. When I saw that, it looked like Final
Dude.
Destination shit.
So it
If
was
that tunnel back wasn't there, it probably would
Yeah.
have went right up. Yeah.
So yeah, it probably wouldn't have failed if we would have remembered that we took some parts out of
Yeah.
the skid
Yeah.
to fix another skid,
That'll
Yeah.
do it.
and we just took a couple cross shafts out of there, and so obviously a lot of the structural integrity was
I
gone.
didn't know that.
It looked like a
It was
can
bad.
opener. Just
There's a
went right-
reason
there's-
those are there.
Yeah, there's a reason some of those parts are there, guys. You can't just like take all the shit
Yeah.
out that you want.
Dude, I've had my worst crashes in the trail too. I was up in BC with Turcotte once,
Yeah.
and I snapped my upper ball joint on my upper A-arm
Oh,
to the
yeah.
spindle. Going down
Yeah.
the trail, is rallying the whoops.
Yeah.
And so
Oh.
the spindle folds, ski
Oh.
folds in. I'll never forget. I go flying at like a 45 because the thing starts to buck when it breaks, and I pile drive into like the next whoop, and I look up and see the sled going over me, airborne.
Ooh.
And so I pick myself back up, knock the wind out of me. I'm sitting there going, you know. And I go to the sled, and I'm like, why is it dripping coolant? I'm like, what the heck happened? I had my tripod strapped to the tunnel, and I put it through the tunnel.
It punctured it. Yeah.
Punctured through the
Holy
cooler.
shit.
So I totaled that sled out.
Oh yeah.
And it was like late April at the time, but then I bought it back from Polaris.
I remember that one. I remember that one.
That
It
was
an
that.
Axis.
Yeah, that was the same. That was the same sled I ripped the front end off on
Yeah.
because I had that sled
Yeah,
for 2 years.
That red one.
Holy
which was
shit.
rough.
Wasn't it red?
It was red, and I
Yeah.
remember it was wrapped green.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
The
it
sled
sounds
had a
like
hard life.
extreme first world problems, but having a sled for 2 years for what we're doing, That thing was hammered.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
we just put on
hammered.
so many miles, and your maintenance program there then was
it's
phenomenal.
pretty good now.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Yeah,
it's a lot better. Just
because of us.
It is. Yeah, you guys have brainwashed me.
I'll never forget
clean clutches all the time now.
When you and Trent were outside beating the shit out of your sled deck with that hammer. And the glides are non-existent. And Trent's like, it wouldn't make any sense to a shred of maintenance before we come to Wyoming. You know what Trent is? Just insane sarcasm. It was amazing.
Yeah, I've had some pretty rough sleds over the years. But no, it's gotten better. You know, I've really slowly become addicted to clean clutches because I noticed the improvement in power.
Good job.
Oh, here's the big one. You guys have seen, I put a cover on everywhere on my sled deck.
That actually makes a huge difference.
That's a life-altering thing for
especially with all the crap on the roads. They're starting to do more of that here too, which is frustrating.
It's crazy. I opened my panel the other day because I'm selling my 9R. I was like, whoa, it looks new under here.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
It's crazy what that extra 60 seconds of putting a cover on will do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man, you got to sell them at some point. So you got to take care of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, boys, I think we covered plenty there. Good.
Yeah. I don't really know what we talked about. It was a lot of rambling.
That's the best kind, though.
Yeah.
Hi, whoever's been listening to the last 3 podcasts now, I keep saying, I don't know when this is coming out. So at the time this comes out, I don't know if we've been to HayDays yet or if we're going to HayDays. But if we're not at HayDays,
2024, we're not exactly sure.
If at the time this comes out, we haven't been to HayDays yet.
Yeah.
Come see Sahen and I think Lars.
Yeah, I'm gonna try really
come
hard.
see Sahen and Lars. They'll be around the 509 booth at some point. If we've already been to HayDays, I hope you guys got to see Sahen and Lars.
Me too. I'm hoping we do something similar in the swaps like we did last year. That was super fun.
So this year I'm doing tiny mic. Like I'm literally taking. If you see how they do it in motocross in pro, they have like a tiny mic and they run up to the riders.
Yeah.
And we've drafted a list of questions that have nothing to do with snowmobiling.
Fantastic.
And we're going to like anybody in the industry. Like
even better.
Carl Kuster, people outside of our team. You know, just like always Dan Adams. Like like Jared Sessions, just random people in the industry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And how it's scripted out right now is like soft shell or hard shell, and then you answer, and then I give you a quick why. And then I don't say thank you. I just walk away.
I love it.
Tristan's going to shoot it. So I'm going to have Tristan like film them for a second after I walk away. If they're just like, what?
Super random.
But I got a hit list of like 50 people. So we got like 75 questions drafted out.
It's going to be amazing.
Sweet.
And I'm like, dude, that is so random. But like, just something fun. Everybody's seen the classic. This is HayDays. Like something
and it
catches riders off guard.
It's good for people to see the other side of it, you know, because people always like portray, like we've talked about 1,000 times, like they're just like super badass and all these things. I'm like, a lot of them have big personalities and they're really fun. And
if I got to hear one more, like, welcome to HayDays 2023. So I'm over here like, ground beef or bison.
Yeah. 90% lean or 83.
The goal is I like pictured this reaction in my head. I doubt it's gonna go this way, but I want to go up to Turcotte and be like, Red Bull or Rockstar, and then both of us, and then, like, see if both of us go like at the same time.
I always tease him about maple syrup. I'm pretty sure he's getting sick of it, but I still say it.
But anyways, boys, appreciate the time. Lars, it's fun to have you on. We've had some good times. Plenty more to come. SS Freeride on Instagram.
Yeah.
Lars, I don't know what yours is. Lars _
LA_Hyde.
Hyde. HYDE.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And while we're recording this, there is some openings for this winter, potentially. It might be full, but if you guys are interested, check out, is it just SS Freeride or is it SahenSkinner.com?
SahenSkinner.com. Which I
SahenSkinner.com.
still need Hannah to redo that or someone to redo it because it's pretty ancient at
Either
this
way,
point,
your contact is still on there. So
yeah, it's still on there.
Reach out. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you guys had Yelp, I'd give you 5 stars.
Yeah, we don't really do the help.
Yelp,
whatever it's called.
You need help.
You're super tech savvy, as you can tell. Yeah. You know, there's a couple people that have done some Google reviews, which is cool and stuff. But to be honest with you, I don't really give a shit if people leave reviews.
Okay.
I might be a little biased, but I know we do a good job. I know that we have a great clientele.
Totally.
The word of mouth for me is enough alone, and I mean, the tech stuff is great, you know, the social media stuff is great, all that stuff, but I really, really try hard to just be in the moment with my guys, and yeah.
And you guys do a great job at it. So
yeah.
As always, if you're watching on YouTube, leave us a comment. It's always fun. Leave us a recommendation who you want to see next, or if you have questions for these guys, and we can queue it up for next time they're on. Apple, Spotify, appreciate all 5-star reviews. That continues to push this in the algorithm so we can keep bringing out.
Yeah. Or if you're sick of us, leave us that.
Yeah, let us know that too. I completely understand if you are.
Yeah, I get sick of myself sometimes.
Yeah, I haven't seen you guys in months. I'm already ready to leave. Anyways, we will see you guys on the next one. Appreciate the time, boys.
Yep, thanks, man.
Thanks.